Hey there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and today we are going to be doing a thrift flip. Now, one of the things that I look for when I'm out thrifting are project pieces. You can tell by the big mishmash of stuff hanging out behind me. But I look for things that I think have potential. And so I found this sign with a couple of hooks. Now it's dark. I don't even know what it says. Count your blessings home. No place like home, family. I'm going to paint all over top of it. So, you know, I got this for $4. And, you know, in and of itself, I could just repaint this, put a different saying in it if I wanted, or an image. But we're gonna merge two flips together because I also thrifted this. And we're not gonna be starting off with it because a little bit of schmutz on the glass. Because that's for later. But I am gonna start with this. So to start with, I want to remove the hardware, which, you know, it's got screws in the back. So I'm going to be able to unscrew that. And I want to get it painted. And to start with, I'm just going to paint it white. So, you know, no reason for you to stick around. Just take the hardware off, paint it white. You can do that. We'll come back when that part's done. All right. I fully admit I don't have as many coats of white in the center section as the outer layers, but that's okay because I'm going to decoupage a piece of paper onto it. So it'll all be all fine. So I'm using Pentart decoupage varnish. This happens to be in matte. I don't think it really matters since I'm going to be painting it onto my surface. What I love about this is that it's really nice and thick. And because I'm going to be putting on a piece of scrapbooking paper that also happens to be very thick, I want to have a fair bit of this medium on there. Now I'm going to try and get it on straight. You can see it's like just little striped. And I just want it on this first square. I didn't cut it back because I'm going to just sand it back. I want to have this sort of distressed looking, which will match the other piece that we're kind of MacGyvering onto this. But this decoupage medium is so nice and rich that I'm kind of using the outside edges of this to kind of serve as a bit of my guidepost as to where this goes. Alrighty, so this is on there. It's nice and smooth. I'm just going to sort of use my finger to take it nice and tight around the edges, just to make sure that it's kind of adhering. Once I sand it, I can always re-glue pieces that were edging that didn't quite make it. But I am going to, because I want to leave this overnight, I want this to dry thoroughly before I do the next step. And because this paper is so thick, it's really not a problem. So I just want it to extend slightly over those edges. And then I'm going to leave it to dry so that we can come back tomorrow and carry on. Now that this has had overnight to dry, I want to sand the edges. So I want to sand the rest of this away from the edges. Because this is thick paper, it's going to take a little bit to do, but doesn't mean it's impossible. So I'm just going to wrap my sandpaper around a sanding block and go back and forth along those edges until it cuts through my paper. And you can start to see the line forming already. And I'm just gonna keep going till we're through. All right, I've got paper removed. I did some light sanding as well, a little distressing because it kind of fits in with the overall look that I'm after. I'm trying to keep it balanced in terms of, here's my 3 knobs that go down here. I did lightly sand this as well. Now, what I'm looking at doing before I do anything else is I am going to add some crackle medium. Now at this point, you could, if you wanted, stencil on, you know, a phrase or wording or that kind of thing. I'm just keeping it nice and simple. But I'm going to be using fine line crackle from Pentart. This is a 2-part crackle medium, and it's going to give us the nice big kind of porcelain cracks. So we've got 2 parts, 1 and 2. That kind of makes sense. And what we're going to do, I'm just looking for a nice sized brush, one that works for this size project. You'd think I would have looked for the brush first, but no, I didn't. And we are going to apply this in a nice even coat using a dry brush. And then I'm going to let it dry thoroughly. So I'm doing this now. I'd hoped to actually get to this earlier, but I had people knocking to get in before I opened. So I just want to add a little bit more interest to this by getting some crackle happening. So I just want a nice even coat. I don't want to overwork it once it's down, so I am paying attention to where I've put it already and trying not to go back over it unduly. You can see that it's going on white, but it's going to dry clear, so no worries about my paper or the pattern, or if I had writing on it or anything like that. It's not going to cover that or hide it in any way. But I think that the crackle over top of this pattern and over the white frame is all going to look cool. So I'm going to get this applied, let it dry thoroughly. So I'm giving it a couple of hours at least before we come back and look to apply part 2. All right, now that the first layer is dry, and you can see that it is dried clear, we're going to apply the second part. Now, I know this looks amber, but it dries clear and it dries very glossy. So we're just gonna put this coat on, and here again, we don't want to be overworking it. We want it to be on there in a nice even coat. But again, the thickness of this does have an impact on the crackling, and the way we apply it has an impact on crackling. I saw a little spot here where I missed component 1, so obviously there will be no crackling there. But that'll be okay. We don't need it to be 100% of everywhere, but I do want the majority of it to crackle. So this works out great. This is, we're gonna get this on, and it's gonna have, well, I was gonna say overnight, but it's actually gonna have a couple of days to dry, which is just fine. This is all dried, and I get that maybe you can start to see some of the crackles on it. It's difficult to see. So we're going to expose the crackles. To do that, it means we need to use another substance. It's gonna sit down in those fine cracks. Okay, the one thing that we have to be sure of, whatever product that we're using, is that it is not water-based. So powders work great because they're not water-based, obviously. Some waxes aren't going to work because they're water-based, but I am using a wax. This is, I'll tell you exactly, it's a metallic wax paste by Pentard. This one works because it has, and I can smell it, it has orange oil in it. Now, it is going to leave, it's not just going to sit in and then brush away clean. It's going to leave an overall blue hue to this, and I'm okay with that. But, you know, you have to do you in terms of what you are comfortable with or not comfortable with. So, you know, as I'm doing this, I'm rubbing it down in, and you can start to see those cracks appear, right? I'm pushing it down into where those cracks are. I'm gonna wipe the excess away, but you're gonna see that it's still gonna leave a little bit of, you know, some of that wax behind, but I'm okay with that kind of coloring it. That's one of the reasons I did the blue there. Can you see the crackles? There you go. So it's so cool. It's like magic because it's really hard to see them. But there we go. I'm going to carry on, get this on my project, and then we'll come back for the next step. Now the wax is going to help seal it as well, so I'm cool with that. But I'm using my finger, which means I'm going to have a very colorful finger, but you could just use the rag. All right, look at the crackling that we got. So fabulous. Now, again, like I said, we've got that kind of blue tinge on there, which I love. And I just, you know what, I wanted to just show you that you can do stuff with some color on this rather than just always using like the brown umber for an aged look, which would have looked fabulous with this too. I'm happy with the blue. But if you recall, we started with two things that we were thrifting. This is our base. So we still have to go grab our other piece because we're gonna add them together. This is the other piece that we thrifted to be part of the board. Now, what I want to do is remove, make sure, I wanna remove these 3 screws because I don't want to use it with this big metal rack. So I'm going to detach it, and then we're gonna have to screw some new holes. All right, this was the board that we had worked on, and remember that we've got the 3 knobs that are gonna be going in down there. So I want to have it slightly below here so that we still see some of that striping there. And I'm just using these brackets to kind of line it up. So I'm going to want to drill a hole here and here. And I'm going to drill those holes first so that I can put like a pencil or something through the hole to be able to mark this board to see where I need to drill that so that we can successfully get our screw down into it. So I'm going to go screw that hole, and we'll take it from there. And this is our project all assembled. So if you can recall, this was really dark wood and it had the kind of the sign, the labels underneath. So we just kind of refreshed it. We did something. You could just have painted this white and distressed it and sealed it. We decoupaged, we did some crackle over it, but that's mostly because I just wanted to play. So I take any opportunity to be able to give them a try. But it does mean, like, from a distance, you know, it's just nice and white, lightly distressed, good to go. Up close, you have a little bit more detail with some of the crackle in behind, which is kind of cool. But, you know, the main idea is that we found 2 thrift things that we just kind of MacGyvered together. We just merged them together to be able to create a more interesting piece rather than thinking of them on their own, right? This board, you know, we could have painted it out, we could have stenciled something else on the inside, but perfect adding this on and combining the two. And now we've got a decor piece that we can use, that we can put, you know, some florals in there and have it all ready to go for all of our summer blooms. Let me know what you think of this one. I think that really, I mean, apart from showing again, like some of the crackle medium and that kind of thing, it's really about, as you're out thrifting, looking at things and seeing them in a slightly different way, seeing as you're putting them in your cart, how can they combine? And, you know, it might be something that on its own, you're thinking, no, but does it have a main component? That wood bar with those jars, that's what I was after when I was thrifting. Let me know what you think of this one. Love to hear from you as always, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.